I think we're about ready for the last game of the day, Zath.
Well, let's hit it, huh?
Okay. Looks like we're all here.
Yep. I got my group started.
Oh, did you go ahead and run the video?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. Guys, we will see you on loop in a few moments. Along the Portuguese coast lies a crossing of sea lanes critical to the survival of opposing fleets. Surrounded by towers of crimson sedimentary rock in the expanse of the blue Atlantic, these two fleets will soon engage in trial by combat, where only one team can claim victory. This is Loop. Loop is a unique map in that every single capture area has an island smack in the middle. To the west, the island in the center of Capture Point Alpha is tall enough that it will handily provide shelter for ships seeking to hold down the cap until the enemy team can work ships far enough forward to sneak shells around one end or the other. The same can be said for Capture Point Charlie in the east. The island that dominates Capture Point Bravo in the center provides much less cover than those on the flanks, and is more likely to be contested from radar cruisers lurking near the islands along the edge of the zone. In fact, every single capture zone on Loop has islands near enough to provide hard cover for radar-equipped cruisers, making capturing any one of these zones extra challenging. Games on Loop may very well come down to a single mistake that allows one team to pick up an early kill and give them an advantage in firepower. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Loop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Loop for the deciding game of this match between GGWP and 5D. GGWP is bringing a Shikishima, Kremlin, double Des Moines, double Venezia, and a Stalingrad, rounded out by a Daring and a Shimakaze. Very similar lineup. We've seen them running some variant of this over the course of this match.
Yep. Now recall that Ohio was banned. So once again, 5D is like, fine, we'll just take Montana's. So
Indeed.
There you go. Dual Montana, dual Des Moines, Venezia, dual Stalingrad, Daring and Shimakaze. Surprise, surprise.
Indeed. A little more Stalingrad this match since it's not on the ban list. Lots of Des Moines. And, you know, it's interesting, Zath, we've seen 5D play Loop from this spawn before. We saw it back in Swiss Stage, right? We talked about, this was the match that we talked about where their Ohios were and everything. So we'll be curious to see how this match plays out for both teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Things shaking out.
Loop is one of those crazy maps.
It can be, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a giant map. There's a lot of craziness that can happen here.
Now, there's a lot of... One of the things, and I point this out in the intro video, right? Every single one of these caps has got islands right in the middle of the stinking cap, which makes it very difficult sometimes to get in, and certainly once somebody's in there, it makes it difficult to get them out, right? So, I mean, if you're able to work a cruiser in there, or, God forbid, a battleship, like, good luck, right? Like, it's just, the island gives the players more options with angles and all kinds of things that allow them to position that ship to fire in directions that the enemy may or may not be suspecting. Because it also has the potential to block line of sight. You might lose sight of that ship completely, so, yeah. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, comments on my channel, somebody asking, how do I get girls to like me? That's the wrong game, my friend.
You need to go learn how to play The Sims, my son. There you go. Yeah, I made that joke.
Wow.
I made that joke.
Wow.
All right, 5D opting to send their destroyers to C and B as we see Wraithguard's Daring kind of trying to snuggle up into B here. He's going to be able to get into this cap and probably cap it and get out. But for Chevalier is going to be able to bring his guns to bear, even though he'll be able to radar the Daring if he wants. There won't be too many people that'll have shots on Wraithguard from this position.
Yeah, but Wraithguard has kind of stopped in front of that. That little hesitation does allow for Chevalier to get closer with that radar.
Does indeed. We'll see. He's going to have to come a long way up around that corner to have shots, and by then, Chevalier should be, the Wraithguard should be able to bail out of there. We see now Hingle McCringle.
Broadside shot.
We see
Red Avenger, not enough.
Solid hit, but not a catastrophic one. Hingle's the one driving into A. We talked about the possibility of putting a cruiser into this position. 5D taking that advice, shoving a Des Moines directly into the A cap, and daring GGWP to do something about it.
Well, I mean, what can you do about this? You have to envelop this ship. It takes a very long time to make that play happen.
Venezia spam begins on Chevalier as he takes 7-8K through the deck there from surviving scouts Venezia. Chevalier taking another smack. Who's that one from? Must have been the Montana.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Maxwell's Montana. Once again, 5D picking up 2 quick caps. Their own A and B. They're contesting C. Radar going out looking for Nightlock Shimakaze. He's found. Similarly, they drive Titan Hunter off the cap here as well. But they no longer have eyes on Titan.
Brilliant decision though for 5D to grab both A and B early. That's definitely going to force GGWP to have to decide, where do we want to push? Where do we want to attack from?
Well, I love the play at A. That you know, at A and C, like I said, you can shove cruisers, and you can't really do it at B, right? The island at B is not conducive to it. Plus, you're in the middle of the map. Sooner or later, somebody will get an angle on you. But on the flanks, you can absolutely shove cruisers into these holes and dare the opposing team to come root you out. Now, it would almost be better if it were like a torpedo cruiser, right? Of course, these Des Moines are not, but they are still very, very, very valid targets.
Oh, they're extremely potent, yes.
Yeah.
Hingle basically sitting there in A saying, you want this cap? Come get me.
Yeah, that's basically it. They're going to have a hard time rooting him out of there.
Siege Lev took a decent hit, and well, Chevalier class is also pretty low for GGWP.
He's not that low, but he's definitely, I mean, they've been beating him up. He's backed way off the cap now. I'm a little surprised to see Surviving Scout coming back to the east. If it were me, I would have continued pushing him west so that I could keep slanding shells on the Stalingrad's deck. But that's not the tactic they've taken for the moment. I'm a little surprised at that. Pushed off the cap, Titan Hunter now swinging wide, looking like he's going to go head up the 10 line. Presumably looking for better torpedo angles to get into Scratching Chicken's Des Moines and Cabraxis' Kremlin.
Yep.
He's got to be a little careful over here, though. He might find himself face-spotted by Nightlock Shimakaze. Depending on the timing, that might be good for Livnik's Venezia, who's hovering off to the north.
I mean, that's why he's there, right?
I'm not sure why you'd put the Venezia in that position. I mean, the obvious shot for him is the Stalingrad, but he's mostly shooting at Squarius.
These guns are ready to go. They need some sort of spotting. They need some sort of vision.
There we go. CHS is daring into the cap with McCringleberry. Kind of was waiting on this to happen. Now the question is, does McCringleberry move up? Somebody's spotting CHS. I guess, yeah, Kringle's probably got Hydro. Yeah, that must be what it is.
I haven't about to get perma-spotted at 2 kilometer.
There we go.
I think they are by now.
There's the spotting. Yep. Them spotting McCringleberry now. So CHS, they're proxy spotting each other now. That means that CHS is they're gonna be fishing in there. Both teams trying to kill the other guy, right? But I feel like this really plays more into 5D's hands than the GGWP's.
Remember, proxy spotting works so that if you're within 2 kilometers or less, you are automatically detected.
Regardless of what's in the way.
Exactly. So you can see around the island.
So what we're starting to see here now, Surviving Scout is moving to try and find an angle for that shot. Wraithguard is rotating that direction, similarly looking for that shot. You've got Montana HE shells from across the map coming in. That's from Velociraptor. But Wraithguard can move up here and just smoke. And yeah, okay, there you go. CHS is backing off now. I think he's realizing the Venezia shell Zath. Oh, the Venezia salvo missed. He pulled up the handbrake.
Yeah, we're checking out the torpedoes over at A here. Looks like Squarius is going to be okay. Not much going on at A right now.
Nope. 5D content to let GGWP have A as... Sorry, C, as A is contested and B is firmly in the hands of 5D for the moment. Wraithguard now smoking. I'm not sure why he's doing that.
Yeah.
Not sure why he smoked right there. Stalingrad shells coming in. They must have... He got lit somehow. Now the
that might have been a reaction to being detected.
Now the daring pulls a little around the corner. I'm guessing that McCringle's hydro is out because CHS is smoking like he thinks it's going to help. Doesn't help that much. He takes a huge salvo from the Montana. Montana salvo cuts him in half. More Venezia shells pounding Chevalier. Both teams trading very evenly, but I feel like 5D's board position is overall better, Zav.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
At the moment, it just feels that way. Halfway mark of the match, 5D working on about a 120-point lead that's more like about a 110-point lead that's holding steady, just simply because the A cap is going nowhere. Both teams are taking up a single cap.
Yep.
I'm a little surprised they haven't tried to push Chevalier into the B, but I guess into B cap, but he keeps getting pounded by surviving scouts Venezia.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, if you know there's somebody there that's shooting you, why would you move into that range?
Yeah. Now, they're working Red Avenger's Stalingrad up this flank. Are you seeing this, Seth? See where Red Avenger is? They're slowly choking off the escape routes that CHS has. CHS, in my mind, is kind of the linchpin of this whole mess, right? Once you put enough pressure on him to make him fold, however that comes, he is in the entire GGWP, like, their whole team position kind of starts to fall apart a little bit because now they lose the A cap and those points aren't sitting still, and now things start to get desperate. Although I will say Go ahead.
The problem is that Red Avenger just doesn't have the angle from here. He really needs to go past this island to make it happen.
And he can't do that because there's a Venezia up there that'll just crush him. But at the angle he's at, if they can make CHS move, right? That's the key. They got to make CHS move somehow. Things will get a lot more interesting. Right now they have CHS proxy spotted, but that's all they can do. Nobody has a shot on him. He's nestled in nice. He's dug in there nice and tight. Wraithguard is radared. So he's definitely under some threat. As now they're radaring... McCringleberry's radaring as well for some reason. Yeah, if I'm 5D, there's 2 pressure points worth pushing. One is Chevalier, who's been repeatedly beat up and is the lowest person on that team. And the other is CHS.
Yep. But at the same time, does 5D really need to push?
They really don't. My point is simply, if you're looking for some place that you want to make a play, that's the kind of thing, that's kind of going through your mind, in my opinion, right? Like, okay, these are the options we have. But 8 minutes on the clock, but only less than 6 minutes on the timer. Again, 5D with about a 110-point lead here that they're continuing to hold because the A cap is a stalemate.
Yep.
Chevalier is very low, Zath. The next thing that shoots at him will probably get him off the board. They can continue to see him. Maxwell's looking for this shot. Lots of people looking for this shot. 300 HP. 300 HP for Chevalier. There's the salvo.
304.
Well, there's the salvo out from Leo. He only needs one of these shells to land. An overpen will do it. And there it is.
There it is.
Up a ship. Tied on caps. 210-ish point lead here for 5D. Now the GGWP has got to do something, Zap. They cannot sit here anymore.
No, they really can't.
I mean, it's desperation time, kids. You've got 4 minutes, you're out of the tournament. Make something happen.
This is a position that obviously GGWP doesn't want to be in.
Now, they have rotated, they've pulled Nightlock out of A, they've shoved Scratching Chickens Des Moines in to hold down C. Sorry, C. They're pulling Nightlock out of C. He'll be on B momentarily. However, with the radar at B gone, Wraithguard will be able to go back and hunt him to extinction, which looks like what's about to happen. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's see when Wraithguard spots him. They don't know where he is. They just know he's in the cap somewhere. There he goes. Got him now.
Here comes the smoke.
Venezia salvo coming in.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, the Venezia salvo.
That's it, done.
That's it. Done, kids.
I'll tell you what, 5D is winning this game unless
yeah.
something magical happens here, guys.
GGWP has just played so passively. All they've managed to do was hold back the A cap, and they really haven't made a play anywhere else. They've just been trading shells at C, which doesn't really do anything for them.
Right.
Most of the good action has come at B, and there, an extra and salt in the wound. 5D bags of Venezia way over on the 10 line. That cuts the timer to less than 60 seconds now. Over 960 points for 5D. GGWP has to make a play or their tournament's over.
I just don't see it coming, man.
I don't see it. Where's it going to come from? The only thing they could do with the daring would be to run around the corner and try and torpedo McCringle in the face. But like that's not going to that's probably going to get CHS killed in return. It's not going to do you any good.
Right?
They needed to push McCringle about 10 minutes ago, right? Once he set up here, man, shove him, right? He doesn't have torpedoes. Get in his face with a battleship or something.
Let's make something happen.
20 seconds. Time ticking away. GGWP's tournament is slipping away from them.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
There it is.
They bagged the daring, and that's all it takes. 5D with a 2-1 win over GGWP. They are going on to day 4.
Fantastic series, guys. Absolutely fantastic.
Great series. Great series. I feel like GGWP played so well, and then it's like they got to that last game, and it just kind of felt like we don't really know what to do, so let's just do nothing. And man, you can't do that. you gotta make a play, right? Like, well played to both teams, but 5D is our victor. They'll be moving on to day 4.